Hello, today we're going to talk about different types of seeds and what a seed is, why we might want to buy one over the other, and also where to buy them, how long they might store for, and how to store them in order to keep them in their best condition. First things first, what is a seed? So a seed is actually an embryo that includes inside it the first true leaves, the roots, a food, and a protective outer layer, which is amazing to think when some of them are absolutely tiny. F1s are produced by cross-pollinating two parent plants to provide ourselves with another generation. That generation is an F1, and then an F2 is the next generation, F3 is the third generation. Things that we need to know about these F1 seeds is, first of all, any seeds that are collected from them are likely to either be sterile or won't produce the same plant, so it will revert back to one of those parent plants. F1 seeds have been created to improve the plant in one way or another, whether that's to improve the yield, improve the disease resistance, or to make it more durable in certain situations. So this is an example of an F1 seed packet mix. So as you can see, it will say on there F1. Now, if you've got a problem with mildew or maybe carrot root fly in this situation, then it's definitely something that you ought to have a consideration about. Reasons that we maybe don't want to buy them is indeed because we can't save those seeds. In order to continue on our gardening, we have to buy them. They're also often quite expensive, and the flavour can be reduced dramatically. Heirloom or heritage seeds are actually the same thing. One term is used more in the UK and one term is used more in America, but you can often find a lot of these seeds, so like this one here on this carrot variety, and you can see that the history is going back to the 1700s on this particular variety. So these have been passed down from generations to generations for a particular reason, whether that be a strength, whether that be the colour, or how well it does in a particular garden. Now, a benefit to growing a heritage variety is that you'll end up with seeds that are strong within your climate because they've been grown in that climate for a long period of time. You can also save the seeds from them, which obviously makes it cheaper going forward, although with certain types of plants we need to know how to save these in order to stop them cross-pollinating. All heirloom or heritage seeds are open pollinated. Open pollinated simply means that we can save the seeds from them. So that will once again depend on what you're growing, so therefore what you need in order to save that seed and keep it pure, because they can crossbreed within nature and at their own accord. Reasons that we might want to avoid a heritage or an heirloom variety is simply because maybe the yields aren't providing us enough, or that we are really struggling to grow a particular variety in our garden because of a particular pest or disease, in which case you might find that an F1 variety serves you well at that point. If a seed packet like this one tells you nothing, it doesn't say it's an F1, it doesn't say it's a heritage or an heirloom, it just means that it's an open pollinated variety, that you can save seeds from it, but it doesn't have any history. Another term that you might find on your seed packets is non-GMO. We don't need to necessarily worry about non-GMO or GMO seeds in this country because it isn't something that is actually sold. So GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. It is where a seed has been cross-pollinated with another species. This isn't yet being something that's even considered for gardeners within the UK, and I actually don't think it's something that commercial growers can buy either, but I may be wrong on that. So something to keep in mind for future, but it's not something we need to worry about right now. Where do we want to store our seeds? So one place that we really do not want to store them is in our greenhouses, our polytunnels, or even our sheds. They do not want a fluctuation of temperature or lots of moisture. So I keep mine in what is a bathroom cabinet of, it's a tall, thin set of drawers, there's 4 on them, and I keep them in our kitchen that is hardly heated. So the other options out there, I see people put them in photo storage systems, where you've got one big box and then you've got lots of different individual ones. You are better to keep them in the house. There are some people that suggest that you can keep seeds in the fridge. This isn't always recommended though. For certain seeds, it's definitely not a good idea unless it says on the packet to pop it in the fridge, because it needs a dormancy period and a cold period before it's going to start growing again. So definitely keep them in a place that is of consistent temperature, that isn't too high, isn't damp, and will just not get overly stressed. So the next thing is seed longevity. Do we need to buy seeds every year? And the answer for this one is usually no. However, there are a couple that you do need to be aware of. Things like carrots and parsnips have a period of around 2 years of where they're good and they're fresh and they're going to actually germinate well for us. But what we need to consider is that the seed date on a packet, if I can find one, so it will say a sealed by date and it will say a sown by date. But the actual regulations of how old the seed is before they go into the packet is quite lax. So you want to be aware of those, but look at the individual varieties. For carrots and parsnips, it's advisable to buy them every year, but for other seeds, they could last anywhere between 3, 10 years, or even more. So do have a look, but if you've got a stash of seeds, don't automatically go out and buy some more. See if they germinate. So there is many places that we can look for to buy our seeds from an online retailer that's selling on Amazon to your local supermarket. Things that we need to be aware of at that point though are where those seeds have actually been produced, where the original seed was grown in order to produce the plant and then produce the seed, because quite often it's actually somewhere like China or places where the climate is completely different than ours. And if you're struggling with getting a seed to germinate and do well, it might well be that where you're buying them from just isn't doing very well, and you would be really well off with trying a different variety, and maybe one that's looking in particular for one that's been grown in this country and therefore has the right climate. A few seed companies to have a look at. So first of all, one that I absolutely love is Good Roots Barn. So these are, it's a family run business and they are absolutely lovely. If you follow them, they will also give you a discount code for your first purchase. They're based in Devon. They are 100% plastic free, which is fantastic. That includes everything they sell and your delivery. They also plant a tree per order, which is fantastic. Next one to look out for are the Real Seed Company. So that's the one I was showing you of the carrots earlier. So this company offers 100% open pollinated seeds, and a lot of them are heritage and heirloom, and therefore, you know, have got a lot of history. That might not be something that you're particularly looking for, but if it is, they are a fantastic company. They are based in Wales, and they are also ones that you can contact quite easily. You'll also find on the Real Seeds website some absolutely fantastic information on how to save the seeds that you buy from them, and that includes every different type of plant and how you're going to stop it cross-pollinating. So they're a fantastic one for resources as well. Another UK one to look at are the Seed Cooperative, and they are a community-owned seed company based in the UK, which are fantastic to have a look at and have a look on their website. Next are Vital Seeds Organic, so they only sell organic seeds. We'll go a bit more into organic growing at a later date. They are based in South Devon, and they have some fantastic resources on their website, including a guide of when to sow each of the seeds. So you can have a look and there's a list for every month, and it will, so for example, broad beans, you might be confused of, well, are these spring broad beans or are these autumn broad beans? Their website makes it very simple to know which ones you're buying and which ones are for the right time of the year. Simply Seeds UK and Nottingham are also one that are newer to me, and I'm quite interested looking at their website. They have a when to grow guide, which also links the same as the vital seeds to each of their seed packets, so you don't make a mistake of which one you're going to grow when. They also have garlic and onions and some of those sort of things that a lot of the other seed companies don't also stock, so they're ones definitely to have a look at. Seed company to keep an eye on that's launching in December are Rare and Heirloom Veg Seed Co. They are in Suffolk, and a lady, Lucy, who her Instagram and her Facebook is She Grows Veg, and then also Kate, her business partner, Kate Grows and Designs, have just started through the process. They are planning to have QR codes on the back of each of their packets. Everything is going to be open pollinated, so all the information of how to grow them will be there, and I'm definitely interested to see how they're going to get along.